Standing next to his bed, she tried to shake him awake, but he remained unresponsive, trapped in the terrifying dream. She reached out to touch him, and in his sleep, he suddenly grabbed her hand and held it tightly. Shocked, Amara tried to free herself, but his grip only tightened. Unsure of what to do, she slowly sat beside him, allowing him to hold her hand. She remembered how her mother used to comfort her during nightmares, so she leaned in closer and whispered softly in his ear, assuring him that he was safe and that everything he was seeing was just a dream. She told him to sleep, that it would be over soon, and that she was right there with him. As she continued whispering calming words, she noticed the tension in his body ease. Slowly, the struggle faded from his face, and for the first time, he fell into a peaceful sleep, still holding her hand tightly. Amara looked at him and let out a small chuckle, amused by how peaceful and less intimidating he appeared while asleep. His terrifying eyes were closed, and his features looked more relaxed. Observing him up close, she realized how strikingly handsome he was. His facial structure was flawless, yet she couldn't help but feel disappointed that all those good features were wasted on someone with such a cold and dark heart. It would have been something if he had just a bit of warmth or gentleness in him. Carefully, she freed her hand from his grasp, then stood up, gently covering him with a blanket, before quietly walking out of the room. The following morning, Liwei slowly opened his eyes. He sat up and realized, to his surprise, that it had been the best sleep he'd had in years. He glanced over at the sleeping pills on his dresser, wondering if they had finally worked, even though he had always doubted their effectiveness. Faint fragments of someone whispering in his ear crossed his mind, but he dismissed them, assuming they had been nothing more than part of the dream, or perhaps a side effect of the pills. He got out of bed and began getting ready for work. As he entered the kitchen, he found Amara already seated, quietly having breakfast. The moment she saw him, she stood up to greet him and told him she had made breakfast. His eyes landed on the bowl of porridge on the table, and before he could comment, Amara explained that there had been nothing proper to cook, and luckily she had found instant porridge in the cupboard. She urged him to eat it while it was still warm, noting that it wouldn't taste as good once it cooled. Liwei stared at her, his expression cold and unreadable as always. After a moment of silence, he asked her if she had come up with a plan yet. She shook her head nervously. He stepped closer and reminded her that